Coach, how'd practice go today?
It's good practice. First session of a double day. We're right at about almost exactly the halfway point. And so it's time to, after today and after the scrimmage tomorrow, start getting their legs back and really turn our attention to Idaho State. But before that happens, we obviously have a huge scrimmage tomorrow that will carry a lot of weight in a lot of these position battles. And so, we'll come back this afternoon for a light one and then get after it tomorrow.
What's the format of the scrimmage?
Very similar to the first one, although you weren't there, was it? It's a lot of situations in addition to just putting the ball down, letting them drive it. And so it's a mixture of those two things, and it'll be maybe not quite as extensive. Last time was about 96 plays. This might be about 80. So still a lot of work, and there'll be a lot of guys we hold out. Guys that we already know about: Drez, Scotty, Wesley Tonga, Nate Orchard. So it'll be minus quite a few guys, but still there's a lot of guys that will get work, including every quarterback.
Which positions and battles in particular are you?
Quarterback is huge. The right side of the offensive line, although it's seemingly starting to solidify. Secondary, particularly the twos, who's going to be the second group back there. So a lot of battles still going on.
What have you seen from the cornerbacks in the last couple of days?
Corners, a lot of improvement. Monte Seabrook had a couple interceptions today. He's really stepped up and done some good things. Our freshman from Florida. Davion Orfe and Eric Rowe, our two starters, are doing a nice job. Justin Thomas has been out for a few days. We expect him back in a day or two. And then, let's see, who else? Trevon Hobbs is doing a good job. Casey Hughes, both freshmen. Wyke Freeman, he's a fifth-year senior. I mentioned him earlier in camp. He's doing a nice job, and he's really playing the nickel position very well for us.
You saw Eric Rowe wearing some boxing gloves
today.
Yeah, what's that about?
A lot of corners and secondary guys were wearing them during the one-on-one drills. They're calling PI much more closely this year. The way that's being interpreted and what they're looking for has changed, and so we're too grabby, and so you put boxing gloves on them. It forces them to move their feet. They can't grab, obviously, with a boxing glove on. So that's the idea and the premise, is to get them to move their feet, cover with their feet, and not be so grabby with the hands.
Are you also going to look at some returners tomorrow and kind of get
absolutely. We got let's see, on kickoff return, Booker and Troy McCormick are looking like they're going to be back there, and Kalen Clay and Charlie Henderson. Those four are really battling for the returning duties on kickoff. And then on punt, Kalen Clay, Bubba Poole, Trevon Hobbs, probably the top three there, and they'll all get reps tomorrow in punt return drills.
You said Monte Seabrook had a couple interceptions today. Can you tell us anything more about those?
Nothing. He just played the ball really well. I mean, he's got a lot of natural ability. He still makes freshman mistakes, and he looks back for the ball way too often and does the things that first-year defensive backs typically do. But what he does have, he's got good size. He's 5'11", nearly 6 feet tall, about 185 pounds, and he's exceptionally quick and fast. So he's got a chance to develop into a good corner. It's all new to him. He didn't have much experience there in high school, but he's doing a good job.
Got a lot of young talent on this team. Do you anticipate using more freshmen this year than typical, or is it going to be about par for the course?
Well, I think we'll use more. There may be one or two that we redshirt, but I think most of them are going to go ahead and play now. That could mean special teams. It may not mean offense or defense, but helping us out on special teams. Where if they can help the team, they'll be playing. If they feel they're not ready to help the team, that's when we redshirt them.
You called out some people in the ALS Ice Challenge. Now, your former players make sense. Where'd Reese Witherspoon come from?
It's I don't know. I like her movies. How about that? Let me leave it at that. Is my wife around?
How does the ice feel, Coach?
What's that?
How did the ice feel?
Felt good. I'd like to do that every day. I'd like to turn that into a ritual. So, no problem with that. Actually, pretty refreshing.
How have the quarterbacks responded since the last scrimmage?
Good. They've had, and prior to the last scrimmage, they have not had real bad days other than the scrimmage, and so it's good to see them bounce back. I was pretty hard on them after the scrimmage, and they bounced back. They've done a nice job, and tomorrow we're hoping that they're at their best. They're good players. I didn't mean to give the impression coming out of last scrimmage that we were not good players at that position, but we just didn't perform like we expected.
Can you talk about that running back position battle? Does that still continue to be Bubba's?
No, it does not. It's not continuing to be Bubba's.
Day-to-day?
It's day to day, and it's as close as any of the positions really. And Devontae Booker has really had a good couple of last days. Has not put the ball on the ground. Bubba is steady. You know what you get with Bubba. And then Troy McCormick is a home run back. He went about 60 yards in the scrimmage, or not the scrimmage, but the live work yesterday on one of the runs. So they all three bring something to the table, but that rotation or that depth chart is by no means set. And all three of those guys will get extensive work tomorrow.
Doesn't seem like that's going to be an issue maybe come season. It sounds like as long as nobody's dropping it, you don't
Exactly.
fluctuate.
Running back by committee is not a bad thing, and particularly if you got three good ones. Now, if somebody separates themselves, then that guy will become the lead back, but it's not necessary. It's not like quarterback where you like to have the one guy.